It's not anything to be ashamed of to say, well, it kind of looks like that structure's worked quite well for the entire duration of mankind, and so maybe we mess with it at our peril.
You're hearing about family values from the childless and unmarried. Don't follow them.
The women have to stop blaming men for their sense of malaise or misery.
I didn't create you people to kill and torture and rape each other. I created you to be good to each other. I love the God who had a flood.
So, I was looking up stats today, and I posted this earlier on the page, but I was looking up stats and I found out that we have a gap. That there is a discrepancy, there is inequality among the African American community in America. It's a gross inequality, and I will fight for this injustice till the day that, with my dying breath. It turns out that whites own more guns than blacks at a 3-to-2 ratio. This is completely unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable, and I will personally fight to combat this gun gap. That this is a grave injustice. I am offended that it even exists within the black community. We need to up those. Those are rookie numbers. And we are talking about black men who fear for their lives. We're talking about black families who live in areas of gang violence, who are doing their best to get by, who should not have to fear for their lives if they are living lawfully within their own communities. These are people who are literally our most vulnerable and those who are most downtrodden. Why is there a gun gap in the black community? This is atrocious. This is an atrocity. I demand that this gun gap be fought with utmost vigilance. I mean, what gives? What gives? How can we live with ourselves knowing that there is a gross injustice in this country with the right to protect oneself? The irony, of course, is that the gun gap is exacerbated by plantation policies of the Democratic Party. It's exacerbated by the fact that the Democrats treat the African American community as if they are a voter bloc. That they're just something that they get to milk every midterm, every election cycle. They don't really do much for them. In fact, they trample most of their rights. They rise up the minimum wage of their communities, making it harder for them personally to get jobs. They make them compete with illegal immigrant labor, for cheaper, low-skilled, low-wage labor. They make them compete higher for that. And so not only are they very unlikely to get a gun due to the legislation of these districts and areas, but they don't get paid enough to afford one. I mean, the cheapest firearm that I know of costs just under $300. That's the cheapest gun, and you can get a good gun for at that price. But there's no way you can afford that on minimum wage. There's no way you can save up for your right to defend and protect yourself. And the laws in which most black people would need to protect themselves and actually care for their own safety, you would have to be a criminal. You would be breaking the law owning a firearm, and that's unacceptable in and of itself. Black people should not be penalized for being for trying to simply have their own rights, to have the right of self-defense. We shouldn't be criminalizing blacks for their self-defense, for their personal liberty of owning a firearm. That is a liberty that is granted in the Constitution, and they should have it. I don't know why this is controversial. I am shocked that this exists, and this is one area of equality that I would love to see. I would love to see equality among gun ownership within all demographics of Americans. In fact, I would like to see 100% gun ownership across the states, across all ethnicities, creeds, and peoples. That would be my preferred preference. I know people don't feel that way, but you cannot tell me that an African American family member who's working the day job and living in the suburbs, in the ghettos, in the hood, you can't tell me that they don't want to protect themselves. You can't tell me that that you live in that kind of area, in that kind of environment, and you say to yourself, yeah, I live around a bunch of people who are carrying guns illegally, but I probably shouldn't own one myself. That would be a dumb idea. No, that's not a dumb idea. That is the opposite of a dumb idea. You want to have the ability to protect yourself. You want to have the right to your own self-defense. And it's not like the criminals are going to obey the law. They're criminals. So why are we making criminals out of good people who want to defend their own lives and their own family and their own community? This is an atrocity. That this is something that we need to stand by and offer to our fellow Americans. And I'll be perfectly honest, to me this isn't even a black issue. This is an American issue. We have a segment of American people who are hampered in their ability to defend themselves because of plantation policies from the Democratic Party. And it's unacceptable, and we should fight it.